Dear students, in our last class we learned about different kinds of seeds that are monocotyledonous seed and dicotyledonous seeds we learned. As example, we learned about the bean seed and maize grain we learned. Today in this class we have to learn about the germination. Germination, it is the process by which the small living being, that is the embryo inside the seed, become active in the presence of water, air and suitable temperature, and it become a living plant. It begin to grow and grow as a living plant. That process is known as germination. How the germination start? In your textbook you might have observed the bean seed is section. Here you can see a small opening known as micropyle. Through the micropyle, radicle and micropyle, you can see through the micropyle the water, when we soak the seed or put the seed into the water will enter into the seed through the micropyle. You can see small embryo, that is the radicle, that is the portion of the small plant that develop into root, that is the radicle, and plumule is the part where the embryo, the part of the embryo that will develop into shoot is the plumule. Through the micropyle, first water enter. Through the micropyle is the seed. The embryo is breathing through the micropyle. Through the micropyle, air can also enter into the seed. The embryo is in a dormant condition or in a sleep condition when it is inside the seed. Even though it is a living being, that small plant, its root and plumule is not growing. It is a small plant. It is in a dormant condition. Air is entering through the micropyle. When we put the seed into the water, or when the seed gets water, the water enter through the micropyle. That will be the starting of the germination. When water enter into the seed, we know that there is a great store of food inside the seed. The cotyledons of the seed, that is absorbing the water, and that will become enlarged. Because of its enlarging on absorbing water, that will become enlarged, and the seed coat, you know that all the seeds have a seed coat. Here also you can see the testa, the seed coat you can see in the diagram. That will break and more air will be available to the seed. Then the food that's stored inside the cotyledon, that also begin to soak and begin to dissolve to get it to the embryo. Embryo will begin to, so many chemical reactions will take place when water enter into the seed. The food become in the dissolved condition so that the embryo can absorb it, and more air will be available to the embryo because the seed coat will break, and the first part of the embryo is begin to grow is the radicle. Radicle will come out of the seed through the micropyle, the opening known as the micropyle. Through the micropyle, the radicle begin to grow and emerge out. After that, you know that the testa also will break, or seed coat will break, and the plumule also begin to grow. You know that radicle grow towards the soil because radicle develop into root, and the plumule will become the shoot of the plant. So that is the process of germination. The process of germination occur in that way. We know that most of the plants that grow from the seed, many of the plants will grow from the seeds. But we know that many plants give rise to new plant from their stem. Rose is an example. Rose plant or hibiscus. We can produce new plant from its stem. You learned that the bryophyllum plant that can give rise to new plant from its leaves. But many of the plant, especially big trees, they produce its new plant from its seeds. Some examples are given in the textbook: marigold, mango, apple, wheat, gram, etc. are the plants that give rise to new plant from their seeds. Then some plants like the wheat or marigold, they produce seeds only once in a year. Only one time in their life they produce seeds. After that they die out. But in many plants, big trees, especially big trees like the mango or apple tree, they produce seeds for many years. Some differences are about the production of seeds. Certain differences are like that. Then certain experiments and things you have to notice is that here the germination of the pea seed is given as an example of epigeal germination. Here you can notice it that you might have observed from your surroundings that in case of some seeds, their cotyledon that will be pushed outward, that will come out, and you can observe the cotyledons in some plants. Here example, here the germination of the pea seeds, its cotyledon, after its seed coat break, the cotyledon, that are the green colored part, green color it has, that cotyledon that will act as its first leaf. You might have observed here in this plant, when it grows enough, that cotyledon becomes shriveled, that shrink. All the stored food in the cotyledon will be absorbed by the small plant, so that will be in the shriveled condition, or that is dry, and that may fall down after taking all the nourishment from it. The young plant receive first its nourishment from the cotyledon. After that only that will develop its leaves very well. Then only the leaves can absorb the sunlight and make its own food. Before that, when it is young, the cotyledon is providing food for the plant. And here you can see the cotyledon is pushed outward the soil, or upward in the from the soil. This kind of germination is known as epigeal germination, where cotyledon come up or above the soil. That is epigeal germination. Geo meaning earth, epi meaning upward or outside. That is the epigeal germination. Here, how it happens? There are two portions for a plant when it germinates. When it is a small plant, you can see here the cotyledon of this plant. You can see here a portion known as hypocotyle. That is the portion of the root that is below the cotyledon. That portion is hypocotyle, and the above portion, the shoot portion above the cotyledon, is known as epicotyle. In case of this bean seed, this epicotyle lengthen more. The epicotyle, that region above the cotyledon, the portion below the cotyledon will lengthen, so that the cotyledon will come above the soil. That such kind of germination is known as epigeal germination. Here another thing you can see, it is the germination of pea seed. Pea meaning green peas. Here green pea is shown here in the picture. Here you can see the cotyledon, the epicotyle region lengthen so that the cotyledon remain under the ground. This kind of germination is known as hypogeal germination. The portion above the cotyledon lengthen first so that the cotyledon remain under the ground. In many plants, you can observe from your surroundings, you can observe this hypogeal germination and epigeal germination. You can observe the portion known as epicotyle and hypocotyle, according to which part the lengthen, the kind of germination may be like that. In pea plant or the green pea seeds always show the hypogeal germination, but the bean seed always show epigeal germination. Then another thing you have to learn is certain experiments. Here the 3 bean experiment, that is to demonstrate what are the conditions necessary for the germination of seeds. Here 3 bean seeds you can see that are tied or fixed to a glass slide. One seed, the lowest, get only the water content. The middle seed get water as well as air. The uppermost seed get only the air, that does not get water. So you can see the active growth only in the middle seed, because the middle seed gets the water as well as air, so it can grow very well. So from that we can understand that for the germination, water and air is necessary for the germination. The conditions that are necessary for the germination. Here another experiment you can see. Here 4 jars are taken. One jar A, that is kept inside the laboratory. Here you can see the cotton wool is taken. Cotton and some seeds are placed inside it, and it gets the right temperature and air. Without water, it is kept inside the laboratory. Here in this seed, that seeds does not show any germination. But in case of B, here the cotton and the same condition in the jar B, it is used boiled and cooled water. The water used in the jar B is boiled first and cooled. That boiling will remove all the air content in the water. Then another thing is also added there, some coconut oil above the experimental setup, so that the atmospheric air cannot enter into the water. That is why some coconut oil is used in the jar B. So the jar B, even though the water is present, water does not contain air inside it. The air from the atmosphere also prevented by the coconut oil. So the seeds inside the jar B also will not germinate. If you observe it after 3 or 4 days, we can see that the seed will remain as we placed it inside the jar. It will not show any improvement. Then again in the jar C, here you can see the air, water, and it is kept inside the laboratory in the open air, so that the jar C also that get air, water and suitable temperature. But in jar D you can see that is placed inside the refrigerator. The jar D, the same experimental setup, but it has water and enough air is there, but that jar D is kept inside the refrigerator or fridge. So it will not germinate because proper temperature is not getting for the seed. This experiment, the jar A, B, C and D, this experiment show that for the germination of the seed, the jar C is the proper conditions getting, that is air, water and warmth is getting for the jar C, so that the seeds inside the C only will germinate. Then another thing you have to notice is that the water is necessary for all living things, even for the seeds. All the chemical reactions of the seed for its germination takes place only after getting enough water. Then another point you have to notice is a suitable temperature is also necessary for the seeds to germinate. The optimum temperature is, or most suitable temperature is, between 35 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius. Many enzymes are doing or initiating these chemical activities inside the seed. If the temperature is too high, the enzymes that is initiating the chemical reactions inside the seed for its growth will be destroyed. In high temperature, the enzymes will be destroyed. If the temperature is too low, the chemical reactions will not take place, or the enzymes will inactive. So suitable temperature is also necessary for the seeds for its action. After the class today we are finishing this chapter, and after this I shall send some notes also. Thank you for everyone for watching.